Hi, Phyllis here. We're getting ready to make some southern cornbread, and I'm going to show you the ingredients. You will need self-rising cornmeal mix, and look real close because what you want is stone ground. Here's another brand. This is white self-rising cornmeal mix. If you look down here, well, actually I don't know where it is. Oh, there it is. There. Old-fashioned stone ground. Now what that means is that it was ground in a grist mill between stones, and the product that you get is a much finer ground cornmeal. Now, a cornmeal mix has cornmeal and wheat flour in it, but that's really what I think makes the best cornbread. So any brand that says stone ground will work. Just make sure it says self-rising cornmeal mix. The other thing you'll need is 1 egg, a couple of tablespoons of sugar, a couple of tablespoons of oil, and some whole cultured buttermilk. You want the whole, not fat-free, you want the whole cultured buttermilk. And you'll need to grease, I guess this is about 8 by 11, or no, I don't know, 8 by 10 Pyrex plate. And of course a whisk and a spatula. Okay, we're going to get started, and this is going to go really fast. And as soon as I mix it up, I'm going to put it right in the oven. Now, the amount of buttermilk and cornmeal mix is not an exacting thing, but I'm going to show you how to tell when it's right. All right, crack our egg. That was a very large egg. And next, we're going to put in a little bit of oil. Again, this is not an exacting science. So I'm using canola oil. Now I'm going to pour in, that looks like about maybe 2 or 3 tablespoons. I'm going to put my sugar in, a couple of tablespoons. Then I'm going to put some buttermilk in there. And I'm just going to fill it up to about how much mix I want. So let me guess and say that might have been 1.5 cups. Now you're just going to whisk that all together. Again, 1 egg, a little bit of oil, a little bit of sugar, and the buttermilk. Now when that's mixed up thoroughly, I'm going to dump in the cornmeal. And I've only got a little bit in this bag, so I'm going to use that first. Dump that in. And then I'm going to dump some of this in. Now what we're looking for is going to be the consistency rather than an exact amount, because cornmeal is going to soak up the liquid really at a different rate than, you know, that you could say, well, each time it's this amount. Now I can tell from looking at that, that's like really kind of thin pancake batter. So I'm going to put a little more cornmeal in, not much, just a little more, maybe another 1/4 cup. So if I had to guess, I would say we were talking 1.5 cups of buttermilk and maybe 1.5 cups of cornmeal mix. Just beat that up. Try to get a few of the lumps out of it. You don't want to beat it long. Now some recipes for cornbread, say that you ought to mix it up and then leave it sitting for just a little while. Now of course I've done this more times than I can even remember. So I know that this consistency is probably just about right. See? And that's all you have to mix it. Now I have preheated my oven to 425 degrees, and it's going to take this about 20 minutes to cook. Alright, see the consistency? It's like sort of maybe thin cake batter. Alright. Now I'm just going to even that out in the pan. And I'm going to put this in the oven and bake it for about 20 minutes. Again, that would be at about 425 degrees. And as soon as it's done, I'll bring it right back. Okay, the cornbread is done now. And I'm going to pick it up and see if I can show you the bottom. Think you can see that, how brown it is? Now, if you want yours this brown, you'll need to cook it longer than 20 minutes. At 20 minutes, it will be done. But if you want it good and brown, you're going to probably need to cook it 30 minutes. Or at least I have to in my oven. Now, I'm going to show you how we serve this. I just cut it in two down the middle, and then usually make about 8 pieces. Now, this cornbread is going to be moist in the middle and crusty on the outside. And it will come loose from the pan after it's cooled a little bit. But because it's thin cornbread, you can't really put butter in between anything, so what I do is just slip a little hole in there and slip the butter right in. Again, this is Southern thin cornbread. If you want to make it so it comes up high, you could just double the recipe by simply putting in 2 eggs and a little more oil, a little more sugar, and you'll of course use more buttermilk and more cornmeal. And it would probably get done about the same length of time, really. Alright, now it's very hot. But I'm going to see if I can get a piece out so that you can see it. Alright, let's take this piece out since it's probably hard to get out. First piece is always harder to get out. It's very, very hot, so see that? You can tell how moist it is. Then you've got a crusty bottom, and it's crustier on the top, so that's what it looks like. And we have this cornbread with soup usually. I want to go over again with you the cornmeal to get. It needs to say stone ground. Now, this cornmeal came from Boone, North Carolina, and I got it at our local farmers market. That would be the state farmers market. And as it turns out, and I didn't even realize this house of Autry, also stone ground. You probably can't see this. Let me see if I can get it closer. You see that? It comes from 4 Oaks, North Carolina. So apparently they have a lot of people in North Carolina that do stone ground cornmeal mix. All right, that's it. We're going to go ahead and eat our supper. We've got homemade soup tonight and cornbread, a real Southern meal, and also a very frugal meal. So we'll see you next time.